What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out XRP, and also make sure to stay to the end. I got some extra golden nuggets for you if you're interested. So, hey, if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate it. So we got XRP here on the daily, right? We got some good price action. We got, overall XRP. I'm an XLM holder, and I don't, the beef with XRP, XLM. XRP is doing its thing, man. I can't hate on something that's doing great things, right? You're still way above your November highs or whatever, your November lows. You're still way above there. You're correcting and you're getting ready for your next move. In my opinion, my humble opinion, right? That's why you're tuned in, right? You're not tuned in for the clickbait or whatever. This has been my thesis for a while, and I got some other stuff to back it up. You'll be excited, I promise. So XRP here, we're on the daily, right? We're looking like we're finishing up this whole thing. If you're new to the channel, we're looking at an A, B, C, right? The Binance chart, the Bybit chart, right? You went down to like down through here or something, but either way, right? You have your ABC, right? You have your correction, and you're trying to reverse, right? So after a correction, you're looking to go sideways, right? So you have your sideways movement as of now. I mean, you haven't really. You're right at what, 243. You're at 243. Back through here, right? Back in October, right? Nothing really changed, okay? But what has changed now is you're looking like you have, you're starting to build, inverse head and shoulders, just like XLM, but a little bit more pronounced, right? This looks really healthy. The way that you're coming down and you're cupping back up into resistance, right? You're using momentum and you're cupping into resistance. I think is healthy, right? You got a lot closer than XLM to the 200 day, but overall it didn't get above the what am I trying to say? The November Open. You couldn't stay above the November Open. We got back into this channel that you kind of been correcting in out of since, what is this? Since June 22nd, right? June 22nd you bounced and then you took off. You came back down, you got out of it, you got back into it, you got out of it, you got into it, right? You just kind of it's like a washing machine. You're just kind of going back and forth. So right now, right, this actually does look like a healthy, you look like you got a 1-2, and this looks like a third wave, right? Nothing has been invalidated yet, at least on the daily. We'll hop in into the 4-hour chart, but overall, right, I mean, it looks healthy, it looks good and ready. I know a lot of people are freaking out because it's a little bit of a red day. It's all right. We had 242. I mean, these levels have been updated, but the last time we made the video was, what was that? November 5th, right? So 6 days ago, right? 6 days ago, we had this 236 level. We came back up. We came up, right? Came up, bounced and went. Okay. Now we're looking to find some kind of support right at the 242 level. It's almost right at the 20-day EMA. Yeah, 242. We're at 242.6. EMA is at 242.7. So pretty spot on, right? Overall, that's good. That's healthy. Let's see what we got in the case of an actual 1-2 playing out. An actual case of a 1-2 playing out. I mean, tried to reach for that. This is actually really nice. So you tried to reach up on this first attempt, tried to reach up for the 1-2-7-2, but you got past your 1. Okay, so pretty strong move for the most part. I know you've seen it, but sometimes you kind of get rejected at this 886. You come back down to your 618, then you go up and then you get your 1618. Just because a lot of the times the 786 will slow you down, the 886 will reject you. The fact you got through both, and now you're finding support at your 786 is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So now, right, so if this is your 1-2, your 3, and I think we're still in a 3, Still on a 3. Still, I mean, minimum target is 1618. Right, coming down, come up through here, get above all your EMAs. That would be beautiful. Get above, even maybe wick above. You know, test this upper boundary one more time. One more time, because then you would have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Stay with me here. So you would have 3 touch points, right? So you'd have 3 waves up. You come back down, you oscillate back down, maybe correcting back down to the November open. I'm not sure until the 3rd wave is complete. This is kind of the idea. This is kind of an idea. You can even come back down to the trend line. And then on your 5th wave, you get out. You break through on your 5th wave to your 2618, so about that $3 range. And you have a 1 wave. You have your first wave. And what did you do in the first wave? You got through a lot of your resistance. You got through all of your EMAs. You got through your sell side wall. You got through. You got above $3, which has been it hasn't been a huge resistance, but it's you've rejected a couple times through there. And so what you can do now is you can come down in a ABC in your 2nd wave, and you have a 1-2 setup now. You have a 1-2 setup. You're above all your EMAs, right? You're above all your EMAs. You have a 1-2 setup. You're above your sell side wall, and you're ready to rock and roll. Right, you're ready to rock and roll. That's the ideal situation, ideal setup right there. You know, what is today? Tuesday? Maybe a red day today. Maybe, you know, you don't want to see too much more to the downside. I can get some measurements on there. Let me get some measurements on here. I mean, that really matches up to that 307, 306, but it's okay. Okay, so I don't think this is done. That's the thing. I don't think this is done. You know, it's not done. I don't think so. Right, so this measurement is going to be a little bit invalid. We don't really need this measurement, right? We don't need this measurement. You close below two. I'm going to say honestly through here. I know it's a wick, but you close down. You get down below through. You close down below 236. You close below here, then you're looking at something different. Then you're looking, now we got to reassess, and you're looking at, you know, possibly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, right? Something like that. That could be the possibility, right? That could be the possibility of, you know, this whole thing building off of this correction, right? So you got like maybe a possible, 1, 2, 3. You have your 4, right? You have your 5, and then you have your ABC. Okay, because it did close higher, right? I know the wick, but that's a scam wick. That thing, it's pure manipulation, right? I mean, everything is pure manipulation at this point, but at least if we're talking about closing candles, that's still a lower low, closing wise, right? So you got that, and you have your ABC. And then you have your 5th wave, which is a 1, 2. You have a 3, right? Same concept, and you have like this A, B, C, right? And now you're going to come up for your 5th wave and final correction, right? That's why we have these levels down here, this 205, 177, because that's still a possibility, right? It's still a possibility. I know it sucks to hear, but I'd rather you guys be prepared for it and it not happen than, me not cover it and then you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It's over, and you sell, right? You sell somewhere down here and then it freaking goes, and then you just are, your heart just gets ripped out. So those are the 2 possibilities. Let's go ahead and look at, the RSI. I mean, if we're looking at, if we're looking at, positives, if we're looking at positives, right? You're coming up, reject, come back up, reject. Maybe the next one you go. Maybe you do. Maybe. And it's on the daily too. So, maybe you come back down through here. All right, come back down to there, then go. So that means if that's the case, that would mean the next, 2 days, maybe today and tomorrow, we correct, right? Today, tomorrow we correct, and then we find a reverse point. You know, Fu Manchu, you got the daily cross on the stochastic, you got a green dot, you got bullish divergence. I mean, you got bullish divergence, right? You got higher highs and lower, and then so, right, you got overall, right? You got closing wise, you got lower high closing, higher high RSI on the daily. So, but still no momentum on the Fu Manchu on the daily. That's you know, leaving some to be desired. You got to get some momentum on this Fu Manchu. By the way, if you're new to the channel, Fu Manchu right through there. Fu Manchu. You do not need to buy it. You don't need to go to these, you know, these grifters or these YouTubers that sell these things for free. These things are free, right? It's a Fu Manchu cipher B divergence, right? It's essentially the MACD. I think it's a little bit more updated than the MACD. You know, you got your stochastics just like the MACD. You got sell signals, you got buy signals, and then you got the visual momentum of what the MACD presents, right? So, and it gives you also bullish divergence, bearish divergence, things like that. I mean, it's been building bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence, you kind of correct, then you go bullish divergence. You know, are we getting ready to run? We have two scenarios. So, and that's not even the gem. So make sure you stick around. Hey, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more. I really do appreciate it. So, you know, if we're looking at, I've been keeping this just like that, because this is, I think that this, you know, this is a fake out. Essentially, this is a fake out. This was, you know, this has been going on for a while. I mean, look at all this bullish divergence, bullish divergence, bullish divergence, bullish divergence, golden dot, right? I mean, there's things to be said that, you know, you're getting ready for a move. Right? I mean, you got a golden dot, bullish divergence, bullish divergence. I mean, you still, it wasn't the move. It was a move, but it wasn't the move. It set you up for a move. It was up 65%. It wasn't the move, but it's still up. You know, you have bullish divergence, bullish divergence. So, right, you're building something down here. Let's check this out for structure wise. So already, right, I mean, this is kind of a bummer, but you know, if this is your 1-2, this right here, how you come up and then you come back down, so it's just like XLM. It's just like XLM. So you got a 1-2, you got another 1-2. So this could be your third, coming down for your fourth, and then you go get a fifth. All right, so everything we talked about, it could be altered a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Let's put on a fib. Let's put on a fib level. All right, because you do look like you got like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you come down a little bit more for a fifth. Let's check it out. I do want to check out a couple other things. I mean, this is starting to look nice. Like you come down, something like that. It's ideal, right? That's ideal. That's something that you'd want to see cupping into the November Open. Getting above that November Open, clearing that. A lot of shorts are right there piled up the November Open. But let's check this out, right? Let's check this out. So we got, you know, what did we get to? I mean, kind of weak, especially for XRP, for crypto, big, you know, big blue chip crypto. Couldn't get to your 1618. That's typically the minimum target for, you know, the third wave. It tried to wick up above it, but I just, you know, maybe we pull it down just a little bit, give it a little bit of, no. Now, you come back, reject the 1272. What are we doing right now? I mean, you're bouncing in between the two. Right, you're bouncing in between the 886, 786. So areas, so this is your typical, your resistance level, right? You actually did on the 4-hour get above all of your EMAs. XLM did not. XLM did not get above the 200-day EMA. So that's a positive sign. So, you know, in the event that this is This is you know, a correction coming down here, a little ABC. Let's see what we got here. So, you know, if you have some kind of, you know, AB, little A wave, come down to the 2, almost to a T. 2618 is at 239. Yeah, I mean 239 could be a nice area. And then we'll go from right there. 236, 239. 239 to 236 could be, you know, if we're trying to finish this up, just based off of, you know, what this wave was. This just doesn't look, I mean, it is on the 4-hour, so we'll see. Right to the 236, so pretty weak B wave. So you're looking for a, you know, a 1-to-1 ratio of the C wave. So yeah, 236, 239. I'm gonna leave 236 on there just in case. So, you know, you could be finishing something up through here like this. It'll take, you know, it'll take some time. That kind of correlates with the daily RSI coming back down to test the moving average. And then you go up for your 5th. So let's see, right? We gotta check out every scenario. Every scenario. We'll go through here. We'll go through both, right? We'll say, you know, we'll say this is the low for one of them, and we'll say the low is at 236 for the other. So if this is the low, right, you're looking for the 1 to the 1618. So you'd fall short. You'd fall short, but I think you'd still interact with the, let me see, put this on the daily. I think you would interact with the sell side wall. Yeah, you'd be right at the sell side wall, right at that 1-to-1 extension. So if you come back up, boom, finish. You know, you just wouldn't get the confirmation that you're looking for, right? Unless it's a really strong 5th wave. I don't, right? Typically, you can't be more impulsive than the 3rd wave. So, you know, you'd reject here, you'd come back down, and then you could go, right? Then you could go have your 1-2 back test for support. You just need to back test. You got to back test for support. You got to back test to make sure that, you know, this is a legit move. So either you do it on the 1st, which I don't think, because that's too big. So I think you come through here, reject, ABC down, right? ABC down to the November open, try to stay above that, and then you get like a 1-2, then you go, something like that. So that's an idea, right? That's an idea if we're in, if we already got 3 waves up, right? If we got 3 waves up, if the 3rd wave is done, if it's a, you know, a shortened 3rd wave, I just don't expect the 5th wave to be, you know, that much. I just, if the 3rd wave had difficulty getting to the 1618, the 5th wave, I don't believe the 5th wave is going to get to the 1618. You know, so we're expecting, you know, maybe a weaker 5th wave just to get us above the EMAs, come back down, then go. You know, something. So that's kind of what I got for XRP. You know, levels to watch for sure to the downside is this 242, 236 range. This November open, and this sell side wall are also key areas, right? If we do manage to get up to that 307 on this next wave, that would be the most ideal situation, right? Most ideal situation would be, you know, come up, reject, come back down, and then you're back testing on your 2nd wave, and then your 1-2 could just start going and moving. It'd just be a lot faster. You'd have less resistance if you stayed above all this. If you stay above all this, you'll just have way less resistance moving forward on the, you know, the move where most of us are waiting for. So if you know, so that's what I got for XRP. In terms of the, you know, the gem that we've been watching and waiting for, right? This is awesome. Okay, so this is on the weekly chart. This is Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance on the weekly chart. We've been tracking this for a long time, right? The 20 and the 50 EMA are identical right now. They're right They're right on one another. So I believe this week we're going to get across. Okay, so there's two scenarios if we get across. There's always more than one scenario, right? Is crypto ever, that black and white where, okay, if this happens, then this happens? No, of course not. So two scenarios are at play. All right, the one scenario, which, it gives you instant gratification, but it's not as robust, is this scenario right through here, right, where you cross the 50-day, the 20 is crossing below the 50, right here. Okay, this week right here. So from a high to a low, 10% down. Okay, but then you see what came next, right? You see what came next. This came next. It eventually led to the downward trajectory that everyone is waiting for Bitcoin dominance, right? It eventually led to that. I drew this a while ago. I drew this such a long time ago. So just to clear it up, right? So because it's this whole range. So you got a 10% drop, or you come down through here and you cross through here, right there, right? You cross on this week. I'm not even, this wick. I mean, you could have a 5% drop on the wick, but we're not really worried about that, right? We're worried about long-term gains here. We ain't worried about the crumbs, okay? You got this cross, and what did you do? So on this week, so we're going to count the week that we're in right now, 1 week, 2 weeks later. So on the third week, you went down for, you can see it. You can see it, right? You went down for weeks on end, and it was alt season. Full-blown alt season, right? So either we get a 10% correction and then we kind of work our way back up, or we kind of go sideways, a little bit down, a little bit sideways, and then we get the big, sell-off that we're looking for. So if we get that, from the high to the low, 10%, that'll take us down to about 54%. Okay, 53%. Okay, 53. It's not anything crazy. What was, what from the high to the low? What was the November drop? So we could either get like a November move where things still moved fairly well. All right, things moved fairly well, but it didn't really last, right? It didn't really last, and then you saw this whole thing play out. Right, you saw that whole thing play out. Or you get a move where you go sideways, right? This week, so we're going to include this week, the week that it crosses. If it crosses, you got 1 week, 2 weeks, November 24th. Right, and then you start to see something go crazy for the next couple weeks, right? The rest of November, December, going into January possibly. Right, so that's kind of the idea that I got going on right now. So either way, I believe that we're on the cusp of something great. It's just market makers are good at their job, and they're making it very difficult to follow and track and to have any kind of consistent viewpoint without them shaking you out or attempting to shake you out, and try to get out as many people as possible. Stablecoin dominance, the bane of our existence. All right, found support at the 20-day EMA. All right, we're looking to possibly have a rejection from this moving average. Tired of getting down below the moving average, getting above it, getting below it, getting above it, right? Getting below it, getting above it. You did it over here too. Got below it, got above it, right? Not rejecting the moving average. We need to reject the freaking moving average. Like, this thing needs to die. People need to stop selling their crypto and putting it into stable coins. I hate stable coins. I hate stable coins. I hate them. I hate them. So we need something like this where you come up, right? You do something like this where you get down, right? You get down, you come up, reject, and then go down. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need a rejection off of the daily moving average. So we have another attempt to do it. Are we going to do it? Who the heck freaking knows, right? Who the heck freaking knows? We've been tracking this for a long time. You know, if you've been to the channel, you know, we're breaking out. So it doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good. It kind of fits the idea that we're going to probably correct for the next couple of days, right? I mean, you're breaking out. Let me get a better chicken scratch, right? It looks like you're breaking out, right? Breaking out. And so what do we do now? What do we do from here? All right, what do we do from here? So, right, this RSI of 55.99, I have this just because of, you know, areas of like support, slight rejection, breakout, support, breakdown, rejection. So just a high area of interest, right? High area of interest. Okay. Right, you can see it everywhere, right? So if we go ahead and reject that, that would be very nice. But I don't. As of right now, it doesn't look like it wants to reject. Right? It doesn't look like it. The daily candle is bullish. You got a bullish daily candle. That's a nice candle. It's a nice candle. We can't have nice things in crypto because market makers just continuously just rotate their capital back into, you know, this over and over again. I mean, it's just been grinding up. So yeah, so that's what I got for stablecoin dominance. It doesn't look the greatest, right? It doesn't on the RSI at least. It's, you know, you're hoping for lower highs. This is the only hope we have, is like a lower high kind of situation, right? I mean, it is flagging out. Realistically, it's flagging out. It's gonna probably try. It's probably gonna break out. I mean, let's just be real. The way stablecoin dominance has been, it's probably gonna break out. We're probably gonna see a correction. People are gonna probably freak out, and then, you know, fear and greed is gonna be back down to the 20s again. It's gonna be rinse and repeat, and then, you know, we'll find a bottom. That's what that's the alternate scenario. If this thing can reject, then we're looking at, you know, a way better scenario. But either way, I do believe that there isn't a reason why there's so much fear and fake out, right? There's a reason why. They're trying to fake us out. They're trying to cause fear before they send the markets. It's just logical. So overall, that's what I got. If you liked today's video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. As always, I thank you for stopping by. Take it easy. Peace.